This is interesting. You know, some of these little things here, they actually cover with a little piece of fabric and they dope them. And that's basically just to keep dust and particles out of there. Is there any reason why these are still open?
I can't answer that question. Sometimes they had electrical connect. You had to be able to reach inside.
I see, okay.
Get the tubing and stuff. I mean, this tube comes down there and it's got a connection inside there.
Huh. Pretty
And on
cool.
the other side, there's a drain valve, drain line there.
Right, okay.
So that's usually what that's for.
All right. This is just a test piece, right?
No, that's
The pilot has to come back here to see that the gear's
Yeah,
up.
that's
gear
right.
flaps up.
Well, we're not done
Awesome.
yet.
Okay, so there's the remote upper turret right there. And basically the lower one is, I guess, the same thing, same model, just flipped upside down. That's got 250 calibers. Now how much ammo does it hold?
I think there's 600 rounds per gun.
Huh. All right, there's a little bit of a deflection thing here for the little periscope, which is actually, there's one on the bottom and one on the top. And maybe we can get a ladder back here and go check this out. And like I said, just up here really quickly, there's the other little top piece there. Of course, there's an emergency escape hatch. Got a bit of glass there, which is all brand new that they made here on site.
You gotta crawl in there and sit in the seat.
I'm going to. So here we go. So this is armor plate here, correct? That's to protect the guy. And
Theoretically.
theoretically, he's always pointing towards the deal. Let's see. Oh. Oh, good. So we found that as well. So here we are crawling in the door. Here's the bomb bay from this position. Okay, so let's basically get in here the best I can. Please tell me this has a seatbelt, OSHA approved.
Well, yeah, of course it's
Okay, great. I just want to make sure.
Here's the connection.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I just want to make sure that we're safe and legal.
We're not done yet. Steel.
Steel, about ½ inch. Yeah, it feels like it.
Probably ½ inch. And it's got a little plate on the back there.
Huh.
Catches it. It catches fragments.
So now this right now, so this is not is
That's not hooked up
locked.
electrically right now.
Oh, I see. But somehow these would be connected to each other,
Yeah,
correct?
they are. Yes.
Is there like little foot things here somewhere?
I think so, but we're not totally done with the army.
Yeah, okay. So that's where you would look through, right there. I don't know what you can see, but basically, is there a split lens in it? Where you see out the top and the bottom?
A mirror.
There's like a mirror?
It's an aiming mirror.
Okay. And
You
then,
looked through one hemisphere at a time.
oh, I see, okay.
Down or you looked up.
Okay. And if you looked up or down, would it determine which gun was going to shoot?
That's correct.
I see. So you couldn't shoot them at the same time. That would be no point.
No?
That'd be a waste of
I
ammo.
think there was provisions for them both to fire at the same time.
Huh. Anyway, so here, so you got these, basically, this is how you control it. You got a controller. This is a dead man switch here. So both hands have to be basically down like that for the electrical to work. And once they're both down, then you can adjust the azimuth this way. And then you basically, I don't know, it's locked right now, but basically you would somehow move this thing here and it would rotate around. And then there's a computer system that is somewhere that compensates for lead and lag and speeds and kinda.
Not so much in this airplane.
But this, it's the same basic system as a B-29.
Yes. Yes.
And it was amazing, but it's kind of a computer system, and it but tubes in it and stuff or whatever. There we go, right there. Bunch of
State of the art.
tubes right there. Speak of the devil. Hopefully I'll get some spares when I pick up the airplane. Anyway, so there's the release for the hatch.
Should be several big black boxes up there.
Right.
Big vacuum tube gargantuan monstrosities that operate the turret.
Upper, lower, deal. I assume that means AC power, not air conditioning. Upper, lower turret. transfer. See, so either the gunner could operate it, or you could transfer it up to the pilot, and then you could go safe. Oh, we want to make sure they're on safe. Of course, the guns aren't in at this point. Up or lower. What all the goodies have we got here? Something back here I can't really see what it is. A lot of these bombers, in fact, all of them had like a fire axe, where you could actually, use it to crack out of the plexiglass if you got into a situation where you had to get out. Fire extinguisher goes here. Here's some lights for, night or whatever when you're flying. Bomb bay emergency exit. No smoking. That is healthy. That's healthy. And then here's this tube deal here. This has got to have something to do with I think the computer system. And then if we swing this around here, we can see the rear turret back in here. You see the ammo cans. 2 ammo cans up there. I'm not sure if I can actually get. Oh yeah, there's a little thing in there. I'll go inside there and check it out. You can see the 2 50 caliber guns there. There's one down there. Can't see if the other one's there, but all sorts of little goodies. And so the puppy just rotates around. Pretty cool. I got to tell you something too. This is an interesting little story. I picked the airplane up. I got checked out and everything. Bought it from Challenge Publications. So they do Air Classics magazines and some other ones. And it had to have been about 19. It's like the mid to late 80s. I picked it up, I flew it back, and I stopped at the Confederate Air Force at the time, Ellington show in Texas. And we basically stopped there, and the mechanic that was flying with me just happened to get in the back here, and I didn't even know this at the time. We turned on the battery, flicked on a couple of switches, and the freaking turret worked. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I will guarantee you, not anytime soon, nobody is going to restore an A-26 to the authenticity that this is. This has got all the freaking goodies. We got all the noses for it, and it's going to be really, really cool. It's been a long project, but it's going to be well worth it. Anyway, yeah, so we only had 1 gun in there. Whatever, needs something. Caution. Yeah, so there's the 2 ammo cans right there. So it looks like it holds about, well, at least 4, yeah, probably 600 rounds. Those are, what, inverters or something back there probably for?
Those are the amplidynes.
Amplidynes, okay.
That's your constant speed motor.
We got more tube things back there. I think that's part of probably the system. What's this big box back here that I'm looking at?
Well, it's all part of the
computer kind of system
computer
or whatever.
I mean, this was the first really fully automatic remote controlled turret. A-26 and B-29 used the same basic.
Right.
It was called a fire control system.
Huh.
But it was remote. In the B-29, it was operated by the guy standing in the windows that had another controller.
Yeah, right.
And
they had like a CF Central Fire Control Officer back,
Right.
a little top bubble in the back.
Right. And then this one, of course, was the station that you were just in that operates both turrets.
Unbelievable.
So a lot of the parts are interchangeable between the turrets.
Yeah.
And B-29 had 4 gun turrets on the top and 2 gun, I think, on the bottom. And you have some of those.
We'll say that again.
You
Oh,
have
the
some of
turrets,
those
yeah,
4-gun
for
turrets.
sure.
Yeah, that came out of
Yeah. And I still have the turret cover for the whole turret for the P-61 too.
Make a deal with Mid-Atlantic yet?
Yeah, no, not yet. So, what's that there?
Camera.
Oh, the camera goes there. So like a Fairchild something. Yeah. Okay. Inspection things. Got
Identification lights.
yeah, identification lights. So what they would do at night, if they ever came in, they would have a Morse code of the day, and they could flick on any combination of the lights, tap out the Morse code, and they would say, "Hey, don't shoot me down. I'm a friend instead of a foe." Of course, this didn't need a tail turret. Didn't have the room for it, but it's got 4 guns pointing in the back, so that's pretty good.
Take a shot at the tail gunner position.
Yeah, tail gunner position. Yeah, you had to be a leprechaun or a hobbit. Yeah, that's great. God, how long ago were those freaking covered? I mean, I sent this thing after the hurricane, which was 92, 2002, 2012. Oh my God, it's like 25 years you guys have had this. The storage fees. That's right. Anyway, so
inside the fabric will last.
I'm going to change the subject. So basically, there were some dings up here, and did we replace the right one?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, and then the left one wasn't bad, but all those dings up there were from the Hurricane Andrew in '92, and basically my whole hangar, you know, in Miami completely collapsed on all my airplanes, and
The stabilizer was pretty crushed.
It was crushed.
oh yeah, so that's all new too. Yeah. Cool.
Here's some of the manuals we use on this thing, just so people know that what kind of data we have.
Yeah. Oh my God. Pilot's panel. All sorts of stuff. Some of these are copies. Like this one's it's pretty copy, but you got original ones too, and I think we got some of this stuff too. But
And here's your bearings for your wing guns.
so are these mine or the ones that you guys found?
No, those are yours. You had those on the airplane,
Right.
but all they had was some barrels stuffed in.
I see. Okay.
Bottom of the wing somehow or other.
There's the tail cone. You know, and this thing had some pitting and stuff on it, so that's one of the reasons why we're kind of leaning towards, you know, wanting to paint it, you know. And the reality is, you know, nobody's ever done a frickin' OD A-26. I think it'd look killer.
I think that's what
I'm leaning towards that, and just say, hey, this was the airplane configuration when it came out. Here's the nose, blah, 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 but they also flew like this, and at some point if we want to repaint it or unpaint it one day and do something, or if somebody comes along with a big budget film on A-26s, yeah, like Whistler's mother, then we'll make a lot of money.
we.
Well, you guys are gonna have to, you guys are gonna redo the paint job. Here we go. I'm going up this way.
Or the old man could come in through because the jump seat, if it had one, folded up out of the way. Normally this was just a 2-crew airplane with a solid nose.
Oh, with a solid nose,
You might
right.
carry an engineer gunner just to help you out.
Right.
But if it was a solid nose airplane,
It was a 2-person airplane.
pilot flew it, you had a gunner in the back. Those two couldn't transfer back and forth because you'd have to crawl over the closed bomb bay doors, not a cool thing. So
No.
basically he stayed in the back, he stayed in the front, and they went to war.
Right. And if you had a bomber nose, a glass nose in the front, that was a
And there was
3-person
a
crew.
jump seat over here for the bombardier to ride in, which is not in place right now.
Yeah, but we've got that. Okay, so that's the controls. That's the whole panel, and we've got throttles, you know, probably props.
The other ones are the mixtures.
These are mixtures?
Yep.
Okay. Fuel down there. It looks to me like there'd be more
That's trim and fuel selection.
trim.
Fuel selection is right here.
Okay.
This is trim.
That's what's that, aileron?
And this was hydraulic
elevator.
selection if you had to use the emergency services.
Okay. So where's the rudder trim? I'm assuming that's,
Yeah.
is that rudder? That's rudder?
Left
Or
right.
aileron? Okay, there we go.
That's
Okay, there we go.
aileron.
Aileron, rudder,
This is pitch.
elevator, throttles, props, mixtures. We've
There was
got,
control locks up there. There was carb heat.
so the flying panel, everything here, you got airspeed, altitude, clock, air temp,
Directional
DG,
gyro.
attitude, turn and bank, climb.
It's all pretty straightforward.
So this is all the fuel, and you know, the engine instruments over here: oil pressure, fuel pressure, manifold pressure, RPM, all sorts of little things, that
That's
lights to tell you.
armament in the bomb control panel.
Well, that whole thing there. Plus, we got the
Yep.
switches. We got the master mags,
Yeah.
right and left.
But this is how you armed all the bomb racks and all the guns up here.
Oh my
So
God!
the pilot was pretty busy when he was setting things up, but once he had it set up, then it was pretty automatic.
These are the feathering pumps in case you had to shut the left or the right engine down.
Well, your circuit breakers are right here. These are your avionics. This is the destruct for the IFF.
I think back then they didn't call them avionics. What was the technical term in World War II?
Probably just call them
Radios.
radios. Some of them were actually mounted right behind the pilot here.
Mm-hmm. Huh. It's kind of interesting here. There's a bit of a bump in the floor here to accommodate the nose wheel, I guess, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yep. It's kind of rounded there, and it bumps up under there. It's all the cables for the trim and different things. What else we got back here? Heated suit.
Heated suit.
Plug your deal in there. Charge your iPhone while you're
That was, well, that
going on a
heated
mission?
suit is for the engineer gunner. This is the heated suit for the pilot.
okay.
That was the engineer gunner's ICS panel, and the pilot's ICS and everything is up here.
Yeah, so that's intercom and
Right.
transmit and all that kind
Transmit
of
select,
stuff.
or what they call the interphone system. That's emergency landing gear, extension, retraction. The other red knob back there is emergency bomb door operating, and the two vertical solenoids that you see there is the electrical operation of the bomb doors, which was done with a switch up here on the right there.
Huh. So where's gear up, gear down, flaps?
The gear handle is one of these knobs up here.
Okay.
I think it's that one there that you just touched.
Yeah, this one right here is just not all connected. This is your emergency hand pump for the gear and any of the hydraulic system.
Bomb doors and wheel brakes.
And this would be for opening the hatch just to cool air, and this would be to blow the hole, both sides.
Well, it just pulls the pins and they
Yeah.
fall off.
Yeah.
In fact, if you watch the video of the A-26 nose gear failure problem with
At Oshkosh?
at Oshkosh, you can see the hatches leave just as John Lane touched down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was there when that happened, and then they called me and wanted to know if I had. No, I think that we were looking for a 6-gun nose, and I called Carl, and he said, "Oh, we just sold it to those guys because you had one."
Tim
and,
was airplane, yeah.
and then we had one sitting on the shelf. That's a accumulator.
Yes.
Okay, so that just is a little bit of a
Well,
snubber
that's
to
hydraulic pressure gauge on the air side there.
right there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, and that's the hydraulic pressure for the whole
I
system.
think that's emergency gear extension there.
Okay, where's the hydraulic pressure for the whole main system?
Oh, main system, that pressure gauge is
right,
on
up here.
right there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and then
I just charged it up because we just operated the bomb doors.
I'm not really going to go up in the nose, but basically that's how you would crawl up there, and the nose was on it. I think
And
maybe
there's
the last
also a
time I
folding
was
piece
here.
of armor plate that covered that up once
Oh my
the
gosh.
bombardier got into the nose compartment.
Huh. And then I believe this little bracket right here is for a gun sight. Is that
Correct.
correct? Okay. So that would be kind of the pilot view. Did they have any kind of a fixed? What kind of a gun sight did they have?
I can't tell you the exact model number. It was probably one of those illuminated rectilinear types.
Okay.
Carl will know.
Here is your hydraulic tank with the level. That's probably a hydraulic filter.
Correct.
Okay.
And over here, hidden in the back, that's the emergency hydraulic reservoir. And that has 3 separate compartments. One for brakes, one for bomb doors, and one for landing gear.
Oh, and that's what the 3 different
Correct.
things are there. 1, 2, 3
You
little.
had 3 independent
red dots.
storage of hydraulic fluid.
Huh. And the reason they're red is because this 5606 mineral-based hydraulic fluid that we use happens to be red. So
Bomber blood.
Bomber blood. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, bomber owner blood is green. Right. So these are the scoops we were talking about. Here's the rubber boots, and you found these new on the shelf somewhere?
Yeah, we've had those for a little while, but yes, they were
God,
new
that's
stuff.
great. All right, so we got that.
So this part physically bolts to the top of the carburetor, and then this clamp allows this part to be removable for servicing purposes.
Mhm.
But the air inlet here and the carb heat option, which
Right.
is controlled electrically, that all comes in through the front air screw. And then there's also a filter option, and there's a couple of metal mesh filter elements that go up into these 2 voids here.
Uh-huh.
So you had filtered air, direct ram air, and or heated air.
Heated, okay. So where does the heated air come from? Just from the,
The heated air comes through that
right,
flap, and
from
it
the
just
bottom.
comes off the engine.
Just comes off the engine,
Yeah.
okay.
But outside I have those filters. They're laying out here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Check those out.
Turn the cleaning mode.
They do engines here as well, at least for 2600s.
1820. We're starting.
Oh, 1820.
B17 inch.
Oh, good. Oh, I see, okay. So that's filtered air, and what would happen, and these things would wrap up in the top of the cowl and basically take out any dust if you were flying in
Rocks.
North Africa. Rocks, yeah, not really
Rocks.
dust. Good.
It's a typical air maze filter, and this would be treated with oil to be an additional.
Huh. And what would the oil do?
Just
Like dust?
Traps
Yeah,
the
okay.
dust.
Interesting. Cool. So what do you do to restore those? Just clean them
You
up?
have to clean them up really good.
There's really nothing you do with the screens as far as
It's all metal mesh.
Yeah,
Tried to
okay.
find some new ones, but no one's got them. And we fortunately in all of
I'm never going to fly
I know,
with them.
I know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but We had them in some of our cowling down in the desert. We've got a really huge A-26 collection of parts.
Right.
And I pulled those out of a couple of cowls down there.
We have everything.
Yeah, a lot of A-26 stuff.
Pretty cool. So I guess basically kind of what's next? And what's the
Well, the next
final stretch here?
Well, the stretch is getting all the hydraulics squared away, the
Yeah.
gear swing, and then we've got to ring out the electrical system. You know, it's been wired, but we need to make sure. everything
Yeah, you
works
got
the
to
way
look
it's
for
supposed to.
leaks, got to look for shorts.
Yeah, we got to make sure.
Make
we
sure
keep
everything
all the-
works.
Keep all the electrons in the wires. and
That's
stuff,
right.
the
That's
smoke.
good. That's right.
And then someone has to send us a 6-gun nose to put on it.
That's true.
And we
The
can.
propellers are in the other hangar.
Okay. And
They're
so
ready to go.
so the engines were overhauled. The props are waiting.
No, they're
They're
over.
done.
Oh, they're overhauled. How about the AD for the?
Well, they're inside storage, so the AD is still.
Clock has not started.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Carl. So what's the plan?
Well, the plan, Stan, is to get this thing flying here in a couple months, or at least
Good.
running anyway.
Good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and
Great.
So get it wrapped up here. Probably not quite by the end of the year, but our goal is Oshkosh next year, but I think we're going to have it done way before then.
Awesome.
So,
Great. Well, I'm going to be back in about probably 4 months' time.
okay.
So
all right, well,
maybe
by
we
then
can
we should be at least running by
run it and taxi it around. Good
maybe
deal.
so.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Awesome. Cool, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Super.
bye.
Sounds like a plan. I can't wait. I'm going to have to find some room in my hangar. Over now.